Everyone to yet another explainer video of my scanners. All my scanners, you can find the list in on my website. Last time I talked about the tandem inside bar scanner and how one can use the scanner. What I'm going to do today is talk to you about something very close to tandem inside bars called tandem low range. Okay, and today is also a good day to discuss this scanner uh, because partially the market condition also looks like what this candlestick double two candlestick pattern, very similar to the tandem IB, which is also a two candlestick pattern. The market is also forming something like that, and that's why it's good to have run this yesterday. Okay, so here's the list about yesterday. So every day, this is at the end of the day is formed and it becomes actionable the next day. So the list which was here would have been actionable today, right? So 30 odd names. What I've done is I've already copied them onto this list. Now, why this also is good, the tandem IBs or the tandem low range, is because it does not give you so many stocks that it becomes an arduous task to go and look at each one of them. So tandem IBs would generally be around 5 to 10 names. Tandem low range would be slightly more. So now let me explain you what a tandem low range is. So first of all, you know what a tandem IB is, right? So um, to look at some tandem IB, so for example, yesterday a good tandem IB was SML Isuzu. SML Isuzu. Right, so here, so this was a really good tandem IB. There is a prior uptrend, and then there is this bar which is inside the previous bar, and the next bar also inside the previous bar. So two IBs back to back is tandem IB. And why this is good is because the trade becomes really simple. You can go long above the high of that bar, and your stop loss would be some points below either the first IB or the second IB, your choice, right? So for example, this did not trigger. These names would be far and few in between. If you want to go a little further, then there are names like, for example, gland. Okay, uh, so if you see, forget this is today's candle. Let's because so what the previous two bars were there is that this was an IB, and this was not an IB but was still a very tight small candle, right? And what I mean by tight and small is that it is either in and around 2%, 2-3% is like tight, so that will those candles will always be less than 2 or 3% in tandem. So this is basically tandem low range, so two low range candles back to back. Okay, and what this will do is this will increase the number of potential setups which you can find on days like this. So you can see, uh, so Dabur, this was a small range, this was a small range. Okay, you should also then go and look at the ATR. So so Dabur is a low ATR stock, so perhaps for swing trading this is not a really good stock. So let's go through the list and look at some of these names. Okay, and you will see. So Titan, two low range candles back to back, and then, so how is it an actionable setup given everything is fine? By everything which I mean is that the stock is an uptrend, has a prior uptrend, is about key MAs, and you sort of like the overall setup. The actionability comes from the fact that if the two low range candles high is being taken out. Okay, sometimes just the immediate previous high is also fine if it is a PBC setup. So I mean, I would not have traded Dabur and Titan because those are like small, large caps, and they move very small. Now GHCL would also not be uh, a setup because this is below key MAs. It's not a good setup, right? So same with Reliance, but you can see that what it will give you stocks which are now set up setup in a tight area. So see, uh, so for example, Tata, this is slightly extended from the this one key MAs, but still a good setup here. So it'll what it'll do is it'll basically give you setups. Now SKF India, now although this is after a huge amount of downtrend, but you can see that what it is trying to do is it's trying to make a reversal base, a reversal pivot. And yesterday two tight candles, today also a really tight candle with a tail. So then this would something be, if you are who is okay trading reversal, this would be a reversal trade above today's high or yesterday's high. Okay. um, Tata Chemical, very similar to SKF India. It's a reversal base, already lower highs, sorry, higher lows, and then above the this three tight candles would be an entry. MSwing also going to go to the positive territory. um, don't like this much. ITC again, it's a reversal base below key MA, so for now there are better names. Deccan is a very nice, I think this also constitutes a high tide flag. I mean, yeah, it's a really good flag. Mind the liquidity, T1, T2, and now this would be a cheat pivot. Now what it will basically do is it will basically also you can also look at the setup as a whole. So this is a really good setup. Ethos, reversal base, there are better ones. Not good, not good. NACL India, so this is a really nice a setup. There's a prior uptrend, there is a huge fundamental trigger. After this 3-4 days of tightness, it went up, and then it's now 7 days of basing. It has the moving averages, the 10 has caught up, the price did not fall much. Now had you just been sticking to the tandem inside bars to find like tightness and tight stocks, you would have missed this. So what your tandem low range will do is it will also now bring this stock in front of you, because see, you can see that the last two bars were extremely tight, है ना? Extremely tight in the sense, so in this case it's a -8% bar. But what I am looking also is that even if something is, the range is higher than 2 or 3%, you can, I still want the stocks which whose the last two bars are within 1x the ATR. So if you look at NACL ATR, the ATR is like really high, because if it moves up, the burst power is really high in this stock in the recent past. Okay, so that is why this guy is there. And you cannot look at range with an arbitrary value such as 2%. You will always have to look at the daily range as compared to what the kind of range the stock has been putting in the last 20 to 50 days. Okay, so for example, Privy. Now Privy, again, this is not like a very good setup, because everything is moving down, but you can see that these two bars were tight, and then a breakout of those two bars gives you an entry. So this is an actionable setup. If someone is looking for an actionable setup, it is this. So Indostar, two tight range tandem tight range candles, but it's very extended, so one should not have taken that. Ixigo getting more tight, this thing gets getting better now, है ना? Sanofi not so cool. Fluorochem, now these are the kind of setups it will bring to your fore. So there's a prior uptrend, there's a huge base, and now two very tight candles. Today is the third candle. So, but this is an actionable setup here, right here. VM not so cool. Tata Consultancy Services, yeah. So two tight candles again. Like the large caps, I tend to not, unless and until they are relatively the most strongest stock, like for example they are Kotaks or Baj Fins. Ikra again, this is on a downtrend, so I would not. VGuard also sort of in a downtrend. Possibly is gonna be kicked off, slapped by the 50. Rim was a good one. You can see why. So although this was on a long-term downtrend, but what happened was that we had a reversal base here, and the reversal base broke out. uh, this base was broke out on this day, and after that we had like tight enough. Like you can see the ranges are really small, especially the last 2 day range is like only 3%, 3.5%. And when you compare 3.5% with the kind of range it was building, it's really low range, and this was a very much actionable setup, not a big large cap as well. So uh, Gland Pharma not very interested right now. Yeah, so Craftisman automation is also a really good setup. This is a prior uptrend. I mean, just if you just because see, from a larger perspective, this is not a really good setup because this is a lower high. But if you just as a swing trader, what you just need is you need what the stock is doing in the last 15 to 10 to sorry 20 to 50 days, and what it has been doing is it has been now up, trading above all key moving averages. There is a huge prior uptrend, and then there is tightness T1 T2. Perhaps now this is at the base of the third T, and this is an actionable setup, है ना? Now how to enter is a different thing. So most people would enter above this. Some people might also above on the enter on the PBC. So let's just quickly finish this list. SJS Enterprises. Now this although is a downtrending setup, this is a setup which is actionable. Forget about which I like or not. It's an actionable setup, because it's a really tight space, and if one can time the entries. Now again, all of this list, mind the liquidity. Okay, when I say I don't trade large caps, you also don't trade names which are extremely small and does not have the liquidity for your account. Interglobe Aviation. Now this one was a tradable setup, let's say, because every time you see that it's gone up, came back to the 1021, gone up, came back to the 21, here just touching 10, here is very close to 10. So something often not a very actionable one, this one. So that's the list for today. I hope this explainer video on what the Tandem Low Range scanner in the Sakatas Homma's website scans has been helpful to you, and not as a standalone. This can complement your Tandem Inside Bar setup. Okay, so like I said, SML, Sujun, Elco, all of this were Tandem Inside Bars yesterday. And the best thing is that it'll only give you a manageable list if you're someone who has the problem of setup hopping or stock hopping, sticking to the tightness indicators, which are the Tandem Inside Bars and the Tandem Low Range scanners, is a very good idea for someone as a beginner who is struggling with setup hopping. So I'll stop right here. If you found this helpful, do check out my other explainer videos on all of the scanners I have made, or I'm in the process of making explainer videos for all of that soon. So check out. If you found it helpful, like the video and share it with your other trader friends. I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.